Hi everyone, I'm Kevin and welcome back to Entrepreneurs Book Club, where I break down my favorite books for entrepreneurs to save you time and help you discover the truly valuable gems in the space that can help you on your journey to become a better entrepreneur. So in this episode, I'm going to be covering Hooked, How to Build Habit-Forming Products by Nir Eyal. And this one was actually recommended to me by a friend on my Facebook newsfeed. He posted about this book and I was like, hey, I've seen this one on some lists before. Can you tell me more about it? Pressed him on it to ask him if it was actually helpful and actionable, and he said it was. So that was enough to convince me to take a closer look and read it. The topic of this book is especially applicable to me because I'm currently developing a mainstream consumer web app. So just before I go any further, if you find my recommendations or reviews helpful or interesting whatsoever, then you can join me in this journey by smashing that like button and subscribing down below if you haven't already. Okay, so first of all, what is this book all about? It's about the Hooked model, which is a 4-step process that businesses can use within their products to drive customers' actions. Think about it. If you can build your product so that it becomes ingrained in your customers' minds and they come back without your prodding, then that is when your business can really become successful. We've all come across products before that we've used a couple of times, but then we've forgotten about them, right? And never come back again. That's why designing your product in a way that drives repeat behavior is so critical. And learning this can be really helpful if you're from a product management background, product designer, marketer, or founder perhaps. This book starts out by discussing what habits are and how behaviors become habits if they happen often enough and have enough perceived usefulness. The rest of this book is devoted to explaining each part of the Hooked model altogether, which helps drive users to incorporate a product into their habits. The 4 parts are 1, trigger, 2, action, 3, variable reward, and 4, investment. Each section includes plenty of real-world examples and discussion surrounding them. Just as a teaser, some of the things I learned were, first of all, there are external triggers like ads and notifications, and internal triggers like the emotions we have in our minds. But to most effectively build a foundation for repeat behavior, you need to have the 2 work in lockstep. Next, there are many psychological tricks like scarcity, framing, anchoring, and more that you can apply to make it much more likely for a user to take the action that you want them to. Also, users must be rewarded after they take the actions you want them to. It must feel good so that they come back over and over again. But also the rewards need to have a degree of newness to them. Because if there's something unique and new, then it'll keep us paying attention and it won't get relegated to the back of our head where we just forget that it exists. And finally, the last interesting thing I want to share is that I learned that you have to make the users invest something, make a commitment of sorts in order to make them value your product more. Some examples include creating their own content or increasing their reputation on your platform. So what are some of the things I liked about this book? Well, first of all, many of the concepts are intuitive and I knew them already from other sources, but this book has organized it all and put it into an overview of sorts. Before all the information was kind of jumbled in my mind, this book helped provide a checklist of sorts of what all I need to think about when building a product. And it also shows how all these concepts kind of tie together. Specifically, the do it now sections that they include at the end of each chapter are helpful and actionable, which by now you must know I really love actionable items in these sort of entrepreneur books. But there are some things I did not like about this book, and it's kind of hard to explain and pinpoint exactly what I didn't like, but I'll try to anyways. First of all, the writing style was kind of dry, and it wasn't as smooth or attention-grabbing as some of the other books I've read previously. A lot of examples are included which are good, but I felt many were redundant or too long and just didn't help create a common thread that permeates throughout the book. And a common thread should be easy to make, right? Because the steps in the Hooked model are distinct and should follow one after the other, logically speaking. But the way the book was written, it definitely did not feel like these were clearly logical steps that followed one after the other. You'll really have to read the book yourself to see what I mean by this. But overall, I was kind of lukewarm on this book. It was average in my opinion. I finished it, but it was a little bit difficult and it took me longer than I would have liked. Probably there are better ones out there that cover similar topics as this book. I don't know of them, so I can't recommend them at this time. But if you are building a consumer-facing product, trying to reach a wide audience, then I guess you could get this book and skim it or kind of read synopses of these books. Next up in my queue are some other product management books and other marketing ones as well. But do you have any ones that you like and want to recommend to me? If so, please let me know down in the comments. I'll be sure to check it out as well. So that's all, folks. I hope you liked this book review. Anyways, let me know your thoughts in the comments and I'll definitely get back to you. And I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. And I'll see you guys next time.